I'm Sunshine McGee. I'm born in Chicago, but I don't claim it as my home place because my father's military, I'm military, and we traveled all over the place, lived all over the place. I am a model and actress through Brown Agency, and I'm also a holistic practitioner. I do jewelry through Unicorn Candy Boutique, and just here recently, I'm a recent blogger. Traveling for me started as a young child. Like I said, my father is military, so we've been traveling since I was a baby. My traveling continued on through high school, adulthood, and then of course when I joined the military, and then of course after I retired, it really picked back up. Here recently, with me retiring, I decided I want to find a forever landing spot, not a forever home, but a landing spot. And so that's how we ended up in Mexico. One of my first languages was Portuguese, so the language crossover for me was going to be pretty easy. I have a lot of family already living here, so that transition was going to be, pretty easy as well. But my aha moment for Mazatlan, I actually was coming here to visit. I wasn't going to come here to stay. I was heading over from Puerto Vallarta to Merida. But when I came here, the breeze caught me, the ocean caught me, the mountains, the friendliness, and then the cost of living here is what really sold me on everything. I couldn't leave. Merida was too hot, but I was willing to deal with it because rent was only $400, and you get here and it's just right. You have water and the rent is still $400, so it just made sense to me to stay here. We plan on traveling to Europe, getting a little bit of Africa in there, South Africa in particular. But it's definitely gonna be our home base. Because I grew up hopping from country to country, place to place, I don't know what it means to sit still. So it'll definitely be a home place where our items stay, but we won't be here just putting in roots. So we've lived in Playa del Carmen, Cancun, Merida, Puerto Vallarta, Nueva Vallarta, and Sayulita. And out of all of those, and of course here in Mazatlan, we've traveled to Durango, we've traveled all over Mexico, but those are the places that we lived. As far as our favorites, Mazatlan and Sayulita. Sayulita is amazing. If you've ever been to Austin, Sayulita is like a beachy Austin. Real weird vibes, hippie vibes, love it. Mazatlan for me is a little bit of weirdness, but it's more tamed and lots of music. I love music, so this is definitely gonna be my favorite spot. So we purchased some land over by the stadium. We don't know what we're gonna do. We had dreams because we watched HGTV forever and we thought we were gonna build a condo, an apartment, a hotel. We had all these different ideas and now I don't know what we're gonna do with it, but we do have some land here. Be open to asking questions when it comes to your rental house. The first rental property I got, I did not ask all the pertinent questions and wound up losing about $750 US. I think that had I known then what I know now, I would have not lost that money. One of the major questions is getting your deposit back. Who's in charge of the gas, the water, fixing things? Those are questions that I should have asked that I didn't know to ask, and that's for me one of the most major lessons that I learned. Yeah, so here my children are well taken care of. I'd actually call them spoiled. My littles are not allowed to cry. As soon as they cry, a local is running up to them, asking them what's wrong, offering them candy, cookies. Very spoiled. In the States, we don't have that case. When my children cry, people are gonna look at them crazy, like, ma'am, make your child be quiet, but that's not the case here. There's plenty of parks, there's plenty of kid-friendly beaches here. Everywhere we go, there's a kid menu, a child seat. So yeah, I think it's pretty child-friendly. My children are homeschooled, so we don't participate in the public school system. However, they do the summer school system, and that was pretty cool. They do English and Spanish. The local children actually just walk straight up to them and start immediately speaking Spanish to them. My children understand a little bit, un poco, but yeah, they blend in quite well. My youngest son, Dominic, runs right up to them. They all share toys together, so I'm able to get a liter, the big thing of orange fresh squeeze. And I mean, when I say fresh squeeze, he is right there cutting the oranges in front of you and squeezing it by hand right in front of you. Fresh squeezed orange juice for about $2. In the States, Whole Food Market, $10 US. That's ridiculous to me. We love to have soups and fresh fruits. I can go in there with $10 US and have 2 big bags, grocery bags full of fresh fruits and vegetables. I can't do that in the States. $10 is gonna get me maybe a banana, 3 bananas, and a couple of apples, organic banana and apples. But here, I get all organic everything, and I get a lot of it. In the States, I cannot afford it out of pocket. So that means that either I'm gonna have to wait a month to go see a doctor and then for that doctor to go transfer me over to a specialist, or I'm gonna have to just try to figure it out myself and do my holistic care, which is fine, but then you have to look at it. The herbs and everything in the United States are super expensive and hard to come by. Here in Mexico, if I do need to use Western medication, I can just go to any pharmacy for $5 US. I can see a doctor, I can get my Western medicine, or I can cheaply go to any market and get my herbs that I need. And they have so many different herbs here, so so affordable. And I can just go get that stuff, create my tinctures, create my teas, and I'm good. Quality of living for me as a Black woman is way better. I feel safer. I feel more protected, particularly by the men here. I could drop anything at any given time in front of a man in Mexico, and he's going to stop what he's doing, and he's going to make sure he picks it up. I can walk at nighttime, and I can see a police officer, and I don't feel like I'm going to be threatened or harassed. In the United States, that's not the case. In the United States, every time I see an officer, my heart skips a beat. Anytime an officer talks to one of my children, my heart skips a beat. Anytime I'm in front of a man, if I drop something, I already know I'm gonna have to pick it up myself because he's not gonna take care of it. He's gonna watch me pick it up because he's checking me out. But my children here are more likely to walk up to an officer and speak to one here than in the United States. And that to me says a lot about this place. Where you go, literally every pharmacy there is a homeopathic pharmacy right there and a doctor right there as well. And they can put together any type of herb, any type of tincture, tea, anything that you need for like maybe $20 US. You can go in for probably about $5 US for your initial consultation, and then when you see them, they do the typical thing that a doctor would do. They look you over, listen to what your issue is, and they'll put together either a tea, a tincture, or tell you what you need to go purchase. For people like me who are already into apothecary and everything, there are lots of I can't remember the name. It's a natural something. It's a herb shop. You'll see them and you'll smell them too. So you just go in there and you let them know about how many ounces of whatever you need. You purchase it, and you're looking at probably about $20 most for 5 or 6 different herbs. So I've had several different tummy ailments. My stomach is very sensitive. I'm able to go and get all kinds of different teas. For my insomnia, I'm able to get the 7 herb tea. I don't pay any more than $10, $20 for all of it all together. So for me, it's very affordable compared to going to the United States. So being a digital nomad here is relatively easy because the internet services are pretty good. You have 2 major internet services here, and if their internet's not working, you also have the internet puck. You go inside, tell them you want to recharge, you get a recharge, and you have internet everywhere. For me, working online, working with my clients with the holistic practitioning and then also with my blogging, it's very, very easy to just hop on literally anywhere that I want to and have service. Speaking of blogging, my newest site on Patreon, patreon.com/The Traveling Unicorn. Make sure you hit me up, pay me a visit, and follow. If there's anybody out there who is concerned, particularly if you're a single female, I'm not a single female, but I'm traveling single with children, you're okay. You're safer here than in the United States. I would rather be that person to go travel and decide I don't like it, to not travel and always wonder and watch someone else do it. So if you have any concerns, I say just go for it. What do you have to lose?